Thank you. So yeah, my name is Henry, and I'm going to start the presentation with a question. I'm going to give you three options of what you think the most serious issue facing the world today is, and the choices are inequality, climate change and the destruction of nature, and large-scale conflicts and war. So it's a really cheerful question. So first of all, put your hand up if you think it's inequality. Put up your hand if you think it's climate change and the destruction of nature. Well, there's quite a lot of people. And put up your hand if you think it's large-scale conflict and war. There's a few people left. There was a survey done in the last year of 18 to 35-year-olds. About 30,000 people were surveyed. And climate change and the destruction of nature came top, and you guys agreed with that, which you'll probably not be too surprised by the name of my organisation. I wholeheartedly agree with. And it's part of the reason why I'm standing in front of you today, because my background is in teaching. I was a maths teacher for around about 12 years. But I really cared about the environment and climate change, and I was looking at careers in the environment and sustainability. But I saw in my school an organisation which really needed to improve its environmental performance. So I decided to get a group of students together. So this was my first group of, my first eco team of students. And rather than talking about the projects, I'm going to talk about two individuals that really made me see the importance of schools offering this opportunity. The first one is Robert at the back there. He's looking the wrong way. He's normally a bit more switched on than that. But he was one of the real stars of the eco team. He used to go into assemblies and persuade staff about the importance of these projects. And he came to me one day. I was his form tutor as well, and he was applying to study chemical engineering at Loughborough University. And his motivation for doing that was because he wanted to develop a new form of renewable energy which would stop climate change. And I just felt so proud at that moment. So that was one student. The other student is, on the next slide, the other student was Danny, who's the blonde-haired boy there. He was on the other end of the scale. Now, he was a student that I taught maths to when he was in year 8, and he really struggled. And I remembered one really difficult lesson where I had to give him back his test results, and he had scored 3 out of 60, and he didn't take it well. In fact, he had actually spent the rest of the lesson sitting underneath the table, and nothing that anybody could do would get him out, and it was a difficult moment. But give him the opportunity to take out the recycling bins, or he used to come out and help us in the vegetable garden all the time, and put him in that situation where he could succeed at something that he found important. We saw a completely different side of him than you saw in other lessons. So on the back of that, I set up Green Schools Project, which helps schools to set up and run a student-led environmental programme. And we've been going for about 2 years now, and we've gone from 3 pilot schools in the first year to around about 26 schools now, running projects along the same lines as I helped my school to set up. And this year we're introducing a new project which is called the Social Business Challenge. Now, this is new for us because it's a new area, and I think social enterprise is something that's really, really important. Green Schools Project is a community interest company, and social enterprise for me is the reason it's so needed is that it puts social and environmental priorities at the heart of an organisation, rather than the relentless pursuit of profit and shareholder value that drives traditional companies, which has led to the environmental destruction and rising inequalities that we see. So what we want to do is to go into schools to introduce this concept, because schools are lagging behind, and this isn't on the curriculum at the moment. So what we want to do is introduce this concept and give students the challenge of developing a social business from an environmental challenge such as reducing carbon emissions. So we've had support from the head of Social Enterprise UK, and he has managed to set up the prize, which will be the winning group of students from all these schools will be presenting at the all-party parliamentary group in the Houses of Parliament. So we hope that that's going to raise the profile. But what I would really like some support from here is funding, because schools are facing a really difficult situation with funding at the moment. So if we could meet or even exceed our target, it would enable us, we're looking for 5 schools, to reduce the cost to schools by around about £200 per school, which could make a big difference as to whether they can afford to run this programme. So Finally, I would really love to, but there's not a lot I can do about global conflicts and war. But however, we are doing our best to tackle climate change. We're promoting social enterprise, which will hopefully do a little bit to tackle inequality. So I think 2 out of 3 is not too bad, and we'd really like your help with that.